Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's yours truly, Mr. Bitcoin Maxi. So I moved to a different room. Hopefully the audio, it's not too much reverb as we call it, sound engineers, but reverb is like you can just hear a lot of echo, like I'm in a big, huge room. So I moved to a different part of the room in my place, and hopefully it mitigates the echo effect. But I really, truly think that you all should really pay attention in this video, because I put together 5 rules that I thought was important for working class buyers of Bitcoin, and I hope you watch this. Now, by the end of this video, you'll get a better understanding, of course, Mr. Bitcoin Maxi's 5 rules, even though it's not financial advice. This is just my recommendation, and these are just 5 rules that, you know, are not really taught, at least in the space, in my opinion. And so I thought I would make this video. So the first one is do not buy with rent money, okay? Now, I say that, and a lot of you that have been in crypto for a long time, you know the saying, how it goes, oh, so such and such is buying, with their rent money, right? Especially if you are somebody, or you have been, or somebody that's in meme coins. It's like, on Crypto X, you always see people saying, oh, they're buying with their rent money. And so that goes into Bitcoin. Please do not buy with rent money, because you're basically over leveraging yourself. You're basically putting money into Bitcoin, and you're hoping that you're going to get, rich overnight. And ultimately, it's unrealistic, especially if you're a working class buyer or Bitcoiner. You're working class and you're like, well, I feel stressed about my bills. I feel stressed that I can't pay my bills, so I'd rather go and gamble it away. And that's what we see as the rise of the gambling epidemic, in my opinion. Is because everything's getting really expensive, everything's getting out of control, and people are like, well, I have so much bills, I'm stressed, so let me try and gamble my way out of it. Well, which I'm telling you all is really bad. Now, the second rule is eliminate toxic consumer debt first. And this is the rule number 2 is something that I'm really passionate about, because I'll be honest with you all, this was me. I was somebody that was buying Bitcoin when I started buying back in the day, and I had credit card debt, and I was still paying on my credit card debt. However, it was just like I wasn't really trying to pay it off. All right. And so as I got older, I realized, dang, I could have stacked more Bitcoin back in the day if I would have just tackled the consumer debt. Now, total US credit card debt hit 1.252 trillion Q1 2026. Now, the average American carries 6,595 in credit card debt. Now, I want you all to think about that. That's what, like 0.06, what is that, like around 5,000, something like that? I don't know. I didn't do the math. But time of recording this video, Bitcoin's about $65,000. And we're not going to be here for long. But you have to understand that that is almost to that 0.1 milestone that I try and harp on you all to at least get to. All right? And so you have to ask yourself, dang, that's a lot. Now, if you're somebody that has a lot of credit card debt, in my opinion, you should not be buying Bitcoin. You shouldn't. Now, if you still want to buy Bitcoin, then the smart move would be to be like, well, I'm going to put a little bit into Bitcoin. At least I'm doing something, but at the same time, I should be putting more money into trying to tackle my consumer debt. Now, average APR for cards accruing interest is 22.15% in Q2 2026. Now, that's pretty alarming, ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of things that go unsaid, and this is something that I had to learn growing up, is what was crazy is the fact that if you're in, like, the better interest rate you get, right, is based on your credit. So the better credit you have, the lower the APR is. But you ever notice that there's these places that'll be like, you get these outrageous APR interest rates and somebody will have bad debt. But those people, especially like car companies, they know that because they're praying and they're basically know that person is going to default And so they're just taking the person's money. And a lot of people don't actually understand that it's not taught in financial education. Now, here's the math that most people will never run. Now, paying off a card at 22% interest is the equivalent of guaranteed 22% return on your money. Now, Bitcoin needs to return more than 22% to break even against your credit card interest. Now, in the bear market, ladies and gentlemen, this is not guaranteed. This is what I wanted to really explain in rule number 2 with the facts and the data that I pulled as to you're basically fighting an uphill battle when you have credit card debt, okay? Because you're trying to build financial wealth, but at the same time, you're like, well, dang, I'm building financial wealth. You're doing good over here, but then all of a sudden over here, you have all this credit card debt. And I'm telling you all, like, in order for you to really build wealth, you're gonna have to get out of credit card debt, okay? 42% of Americans think they will have credit card debt their whole life. Now, more than 1 in 5 Americans are very stressed out about their credit card debt. Now, if you are buying Bitcoin while paying 22% interest on your credit cards, you are literally funding someone else's wealth, trying to build your own. So it's basically what I talked about. I skipped ahead on my notes, but I want you all to think about this. When you are paying on a credit card, you're basically building wealth for somebody else. And this is something that goes unsaid, even in financial education classes on YouTube or financial gurus on YouTube, is the fact that I've never heard really anybody say that you're basically building wealth for somebody else by paying credit card debt. And which sucks because it's like, especially here in the United States, you need good credit in order to build some type of credit profile, right? But however, there's a way to go about it responsibly, all right? And that would be if you spend money on a credit card, try not to over leverage or overspend beyond your means, pay it off, and just not be in credit card debt in the first place. That's, of course, in a nutshell, over leveraging yourself. Now, rule number 3 is use a reoccurring accumulation plan. So for me, my accumulation plan is I allocate more towards Bitcoin in the bear market, and during bull markets, I tend to ease back off, but that's my accumulation plan, okay? You always want to have one. It depends on your finances. You know, what works for you might not work for somebody else that's watching this video because they're in a completely different circumstance, completely different part of the world, completely different economic factor. So you have to sit down with yourself, look at your bank statement to say, okay, how much can I put towards Bitcoin every month? Okay, well, dang, I have this much credit card debt, I have this much bills, I have a loan, I have a car payment. So I most likely should be allocating more to these bills and try and pay these off in order for me to be able to stack more Bitcoin, all right? So rule number 4, learn self-custody before your stack becomes significant. Now, if you all remember BlockFi, right? Now, BlockFi was something I think it was back in the day, it was like a bank, I want to say, that you can basically, you earn yield on Bitcoin and Ethereum. However, a lot of people didn't actually read the fine print. With BlockFi, you put your money into there, but if in the event they file bankruptcy, your crypto, your Bitcoin or Ethereum were gone. And so a lot of people don't understand that. So if you were putting 2-3 plus Bitcoin in there at the time, it's all gone. So the important thing is you need to learn self-custody, which is very important, especially when you start getting into the 0.01, 0.02, and so on, right? Because you all have to understand that you don't want to be relying on a third-party company like an exchange, because if the exchange goes down, basically everything that you've been working for, you've been grinding your way up. You might be a blue-collar worker, right? And so it's hard making ends meet right now, but you're still able to save a little bit in Bitcoin. Say it took you 24 months to get to 0.1 Bitcoin. And all of a sudden it's gone because you left it on an exchange. Get a cold hardware wallet, ladies and gentlemen. Now, rule number 5, my last one, is a big one. It's a very big one. Stop chasing every green candle. Because when you see candles going up, it's just something about human brain and the human psychology. When they see green and when things are going up and money's going up, they want to dump their money into it. They want to over leverage themselves, or they say, oh my God, Bitcoin's going to go up. I need to ride this pump. But you have to train yourself to get to a place to say, you know what, I'm going to sit back. I'm not going to FOMO into chasing green candles, because then there's going to be a correction. And most likely I bought. And if you can afford to wait, then you can wait. But a lot of people nowadays can't. They're not in a financial position to be over leveraging themselves in Bitcoin and just waiting it out, especially if you're a working class American or person in the world watching this. Now, I made these because I thought, again, it was very important. And the biggest thing I want you all to take away from this is, please do your own research. But these were 5 of the rules that I thought were very important before you buy Bitcoin, or if you are buying Bitcoin. I've never really came out with a video like this, and this is something that I've been like, well, my community really needs to know, the fundamentals before they buy Bitcoin, before they get into Bitcoin. Because again, I was that guy that was putting money into Bitcoin, but then I was basically looking at my finances, and I said, look, I have this debt. I have this credit card debt. So why am I putting money over here when I should be trying to pay off all this stuff? Okay. And I think it's very important, because you're basically not going to get anywhere. Now, if you are somebody that I've kind of sprinkled into my other videos, but if you're somebody that has a lot of capital to work with, I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you can go and you can chase a green candle, and then you can, wait for it to go to like 75,000. You want to sell it, then that's on you. However, for me, I don't like doing things like that. I don't like losing money. And there's other people out there that don't mind losing money, or they would rather gamble their money away. However, like I told you all, my awakening was in meme coins. And I said, you know what? I don't like this. This is gambling. I don't like this. So let me know your thoughts on today's video. Which rule did you think was very important? And let me know, because I read the comments. And I hope you all have been doing very well out there. Now we're starting to see some green in Bitcoin. Like I told you all, and I think it was the last 2 videos ago I was talking about it. So it looks like we're flipping green. We're kind of slowly chugging along, going up. And I told you all that I really don't think that we're going to see that $40,000 price point, but you'll never know. But again, this is why I laid these 5 rules out, so you have a plan. All right. But Bitcoin ultimately is not going anywhere. Okay. So basically, in conclusion of this video, ladies and gentlemen, if you have debt, focus on paying off that debt first. Bitcoin's not going anywhere. Okay. Bitcoin, in my opinion, is going to keep going up forever. But anyways, let me know everybody's thoughts. I thought it was very important that I brought this up again. I'm Mr. Bitcoin Maxi. We are all Bitcoin Maxi. Stack, sat, stay free, stay humble. I'll see you all next video, and I hope you all have a good day. You better hit the gym. You all know I'm going to tell you, you better hit the gym. Hit the gym. A strong body is a strong mind. I'll see you all in the next video.